Before I ask Ella to do the recap, because I think Julian, you were the sacrifice last time.
Yes.
And Dowser was not here. I just want to give a little bit of a disclaimer or a warning for the audience. I know I have an initial one in every episode, but this episode is going to be a little bit... Maybe it's going to touch some people in particular places that is very uncomfortable, especially if you are a woman. So I just want to give that warning. But with that said, Ella, what happened last time?
We had a fun session where everyone went to feed. Ella was pretty good with her feeding. However, Dahlia ended up killing 2 people. So sad. She ended up with another stain for her trophy case. And Julian went to go feed. The person was on hospice, fortunately or unfortunately, RIP there. Julian let the FBI guy into our place, and we kind of have a back and forth with him. And he gives Ella a piece of art, and it's in a Greek style. She has armor and everything, total, HBIC. And they discuss how she can go get this necklace from the club. She knows where it's at. And Dahlia really wants this FBI guy's brain to be scrambled and wants Ella to do it. But the only way she knows how to do it is like lobotomy or punching his skull in from the front. And that's not necessarily what she was talking about, but not against. And so we discuss the whole going to the club, not going to the club. And then we also talk about a mage and how he's a mage with assets, powerful and special things, and how he can affect the supernatural in grievous ways. And humans are harder in this circumstance because they don't believe. And so we kind of go into it. We learned that not all of us are super familiar with the occult, which is cool because we don't know what is going on. But we learned that if you F around with reality, you will find out. So whatever we tried to achieve could turn back on us. And Julian wants to, against his better judgment, meet a werewolf. And Ella and Dahlia are not about it. Even if they have cages, don't really want that. So we went on a break. And we want to leave. We end up having this situation with abyssal damage. And Dahlia feels like there's something on her mind, and then it stops, and it's like this pulsing wave that's going in and out, and it's affecting all of us as kindred. And Dahlia can tell that it's coming from the lake, and our FBI guy, who we nicknamed Mulder for a minute, he pulls out a vial and he touches his forehead and he blows the dust, and a symbol appears on his forehead, and Mulder can tell that it's far away and that it's infernal or abyssal. And we end up going to the strip club after this, and Ella tries her best to try to get this necklace from him. He says that it's insignificant, it means nothing, it's just his. And then he says that he wants a theater near Cassandra's just to spite her. And Dahlia has words, Julian doesn't, but also Dahlia is able to perceive that he's lying to us to why he wants it. While he says that it's just to spite Cassandra, Dahlia just realizes that there's something more there. She doesn't know exactly, but Ella and Julian are none the wiser. And so Dahlia and Julian, they have words and they leave one by one. And in a last-ditch effort for Ella trying to get this necklace, she tries to not seduce the Sedite, but it kind of works. And he kneels before her and gives her the necklace, even though he said he wouldn't until she gave him or got him the deed to the the theater. So she ended up walking out of it, and he will be under the effects of that spell or that power and discipline that she used. And so she's got a 72-hour window before maybe consequences will happen. Maybe. But yeah, she was able to walk out, and everyone's like, what happened? Because they had walked out prior to that. And they discussed the theater and what's going on with it. And we learned that it is owned by Julian, I believe. So we kind of learned that. Now we know that Dowser built / owns our Haven house. Julian owns this theater that is wanted by multiple people, and we learned that it's kind of like a battery and connected to the gates within Dusktown. So we have some insight, but we have all the pieces now. We're putting them together, and that is where we left off.
Yes. Well, Julian, you, because of your knowledge, you also learned that it's apparently housing a djinn in a prison. And there was a certain sphere that were, or a plane of existence that apparently one of the gates is connected to. I'm gonna roll back in time a little bit. Before we jump back into the Haven Dowser, when your comrades were about to get absolutely decked by specters, you turned into a ghost yourself and just backed the F out of there to have a little bit of a communion with the lake and see if you could actually try to commune or contact anything down there. But they feel your presence. There's a very large being, or at least the tentacle of a very large being down there that tried to destroy you, but you were in your watery form, so it's kind of hard to grasp you. You then went to Dominic Rayburn to have a chat with him. Told him you might have a way out. He was interested. I don't know if you gave him all the details about the gates or if you just left it vague. And also told him you had an interest in the sword in the museum. And he offered, should it help in any way, that because he works for the Baron and by extension of that, Margaret, he would be willing to house the sword while you study it, if that helps in any way. But Margaret has already told you she's not willing to even hear you out before you have dealt with the FBI agent. Your good friend Carson has been driving you around all night, and I want to ask you all out of character, because we are still at the same night where you all went to the dance club or dancers club. Do you want to sleep before we start this session? You know, some of you are very damaged, and some of you have spent a lot of willpower.
Yeah, I could sleep. I could sleep. I'm a little tired, you know. Spent a lot of willpower.
I think you all agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, you have 1 superficial and 3 or 4 ag, I think. Do you want to heal the superficial, or do you want to wait until you have healed the ag when you wake?
What will get me hit points faster sooner?
It's more a matter of how risky you want to play your hunger. Because, I mean, you can hunt and you're good at it, but it can also go very wrong.
So 3 rouse checks, and that'll get me 1 health back, yeah?
Yeah, and a normal one for the superficial, and then 1 for waking as well. So that's 5 rouse checks if you want to wait. That's why, if you want to, I don't know, heal the superficial now, go hunt before you go to bed, and then I'm also fine with that. You don't have to roll
Yeah.
because I think if you just take half, you still have like 16 dice. So
Yeah.
Go back to 1, heal you superficial. You all sleep, regain your willpower if you have lost any. And then do a rouse check. Wait.
No. Damn.
I did a rouse check to start.
Yeah. And then 3 more, Ella. For healing the egg. We're currently at hunger 1.
Okay. 1,
Okay. Yes.
2.
Yes, come on. Yes.
Hey! Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Still
2
hunger 1.
10s. Yeah.
Easy. Now you only have 3 egg, which means
Only.
you have as much health as the rest of them now.
This doesn't make me feel secure.
It's like your max is 8, so you're a bit more, bit tankier than the rest.
Yeah, that's true. I have a little more fortitude this time around.
You wake up, your beast is quiet. Apparently, it's very satisfied from your actions last night, dominating him and making him kneel. Even though it was in a bit of a frenzy, you let it out and it's satisfied. Also, you have visions when you wake. It's those eyes again. The sword. The raven. Don't get a headache, but it takes a while. You feel a bit more stiff when you wake up, and the ordeal in the lake has. It's not how you usually sleep. It's just a magical way. Julian, your beast is quiet, which is very unnerving. Because it will usually berate you and be quite rude. But this is the first time in a very long time that you have woken up and felt its presence, but it doesn't say anything to you, almost like it's ignoring you deliberately. And maybe it will be hard to call upon it. You go into your meeting hall. Dahlia is nowhere to be seen, neither is Henry. And also you walk in, I think. After you've been gone for 2 nights, I think, something like that. To the rest of them. And so has Carson, but he has been driving you around, which is why he's not been there. And he doesn't follow you in. He goes back to his usual construction work.
I think Dowser's just gonna go straight into the library and see if he can find any more necessary information on just different creatures in general, since we seem to be still looking for different parts.
There's a lot of books on mythical creatures. Julian, Ella, first of all, you're kind of surprised to, well, maybe not surprised, but he's there. He doesn't seem like he's bothered by anything, just walks in there. Do you want to fill him in on your night or the gin?
Yeah, I think we'd give him like the spark notes, so to speak. It's a lot of info, but it's also going to be like, where have you been? You know, how are you? We lost you at the prison.
I don't deal with the dead. Dahlia seemed to have managed. I had to do some research and gathering some information.
Anything interesting?
Nothing that's important right now. I'll let you know if it does come up.
When you say come up, does this mean physically, emotionally, cognitively?
Most likely physically. There's no need to start a panic until anything bad happens.
Ella is dubious.
I think I speak for everyone in saying we're just glad you're back. It was an assuring hand on the shoulder.
Thank you.
Good to be back.
So this gin business,
Hmm.
was the cage made out of anything particular, or?
Not to my knowledge. Julian?
I don't know. I don't know the nature of the theater. I've been told I own it, but I don't remember even stepping into it.
That's kind of the same predicament I was in when we were told I own this house, although I had never been here before. It would probably be smart to go and look more into it, find out if there's anything hidden in the walls.
I agree.
That's well, you all know this because you all have blood sorcery, but that's you a bit more attuned to all these things and have the right rituals. You know that this house converges or is on something that the ley lines converge. And the gates kind of work as highways to points. And the djinn is probably on one of these ley lines and feeding directly into your haven. And you could locate it, you have the ritual for it, but if they know the building, then that will work just as fine. But the same works with the other 3 gates. So if they say a being is fueling the gate, then that is probably also true for the rest of them.
It seems we might have to follow some ley lines and look around for the different buildings. Because I do think that we're going to find different buildings and different names throughout. Just curious. Do we have a map of the ley lines in our library at all? Or anything of the sort?
Give me an academics roll. It's quite a lot of books in here.
There sure are.
You have a +1 because of your haven bonus.
3.
It is your library. It takes a while though. So I want to ask Julie and Ella while you research. Is there anything you want to do, or maybe you want to assist? Or just stand around?
Did someone give me an MP3 or something?
Yeah.
I kind of vaguely remember
yes.
like
You
I
have
can play music.
some kind of audio device with a lot of music on it. Yeah, it has all genres and everything. He doesn't really know what you like.
He just would be sitting there like bobbing his head a little bit, the earbuds in his ears, just chilling.
Ella, are you assisting Dowser?
Yes. Yep, she would. She's an author apparently, so you know she feels at home here as well.
Takes you half an hour. You find a map of Dusktown kind of folded inside a book about ley lines, which is fitting. Apparently, you have a good system, Dowser. It's just the outline, the walls, really, and you think the barrier is kind of zoomed out because there are mountains and you see most of the lake on the map. So this would also be, you think, it's not accurate down to the mile, but how far the barrier extends beyond the city. So you would have a guess, maybe you could you could travel about 30 miles from your haven before you would hit whatever the barrier is. So it's not the city walls. But you find, well, 4 X's on the map. And one of them is in Cassandra's domain, which is probably the theater. Again, the map is not very detailed, it's just sketches.
Mm-hmm. Where are the other X's?
One in the prison that you were at. One north of the city. In Forest, you think. Let me just think of the beings, you know, that. And the last one is, oh, your house. And a little note, it just says Henry.
Huh. Curious. Well, it seems we've already been to 3 of these places. And there is at least 1/4 far off in the forest, which would most likely mean either lupine or perhaps, if we're unlucky, the fair folk.
And it
You
is
want to go check it out?
essence of a fae, so.
I mean, I don't know if it's smart for us to go there without everyone. Where is Dahlia and Henry, by the way? If you know, that is.
Takes the earbud out. What? What was that?
I'm just wondering where Dahlia and Henry is.
Oh, I don't know.
Something. You haven't had another driver come to the door, have you?
Not as far as I'm aware. They're probably somewhere.
There's a heavy knock on the steel doors. Probably Carson, because you can't really open them. But
Just head to the top of the stairs and open them up.
yeah. It is him, he says. There is a car outside. As soon as he opens the door, Julian, you smell cinnamon, you smell strawberry.
Ooh.
Very nice flowers. Reminds you of a very certain person.
He's gonna immediately stand up and take the earbud out and leave it on the table, like the iPod on the table, and start making his way towards the door.
Just rushing past Bowser and Carson.
Did it smell like it came
follow
from
along and
outside,
see.
or did Carson smell like it?
No, it's definitely just the wind blowing in from outside.
Mm.
You don't see. Well, Dowser, you see a woman. LA, if you go with them, you would recognize her. She's sitting in a car. She has her nurse's uniform on. She's looking at her phone. Julian, you hear, this can't be the place. Must have taken a wrong turn. Where is it? This is the right address. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my job.
He pulls out his navigation tool and starts tapping the ground, and he can sense the car perfectly, can hear her, but he's gonna act like he's, tapping his way over to it.
Like, your home is just a big construction site with like fences and everything, so.
Yeah, he just walks over and he's just standing outside of it, acting like he's confused or something. Why there's a vehicle there.
You feel the vibration. She looks up and she gives a little yip from within the car, like she's startled. and then rolls down the windows. Oh, you are here. Thank God. Julian, right? We met at. Sorry,
Yes.
I always forget. She steps out of the car and, well, he acts like you're blind. And
Yes, by your voice, Miss Albright.
yes,
It's good to see you again.
there's a bit of a giggle.
Part of my expression.
I was told to deliver something at your house, but I don't see a house.
Oh, yes, there was a fire. We're all right.
You heard?
Oh no, I'm fine, thank you. But yeah, we have another place we've been staying that's nearby. What is it you brought? If you don't mind me asking.
A letter. She kind of searches her handbag and hands it forward, and again, it's a confusing thing because she thinks you're blind, and she just kind of takes your wrist gently and puts it in your hand. I'm not a courier usually, but whenever Dr. Wellborn gives an order, he expects you to follow it to the letter. Even though I'm overqualified for this.
Oh well, I appreciate this. Thank you. Any idea what it could be for?
No, I'm not foolish enough to ask questions.
I understand. Well, I hope it wasn't too much of a drive to come here.
No, I actually live a couple of streets down, and it was at the end of my shift anyways.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. Well, I'll take this over to my associates. They could likely read it. Dr. Wilborn is a good man, but I don't know how if it'd be in Braille.
I don't know if he thought of that.
Anyway, you take care now, and be safe.
You too, Julian. Nice to meet you again. She steps back in the car and drives off. Ella and Darcy, you're kind of watching this from the shadows, and she seems very warm, very pleasant, very smiling through the whole encounter. And like
Julian stand. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I will just say, like a genuinely warm and good person.
Julian stands on the street a little bit longer than you would think before he turns back around and will come back inside. It's like, the mail came early today.
Seems so, doesn't it? You seem to have gotten yourself a new friend.
Yes, from Dr. Walborn. It's a letter. Could one of you read it for me?
Certainly. Of course.
And he'll hand it to Ella.
Very, very nice burst of letters, and it just simply says, Kaya knows, and it's signed W.
As she reads that out loud, she's just kind of hovering on each word. And she just looks, you can see her squinting her eye. She's more perturbed. Not perturbed. She's just kind of like, is this a threat? What does this mean? Kaya knows.
Well, I don't know. I don't think recently we've been getting up to anything that would make Kaya upset.
I want to refresh your memories. She became aware that you're hunting the serial killer when you were caught, and they're both looking for that serial killer.
Yes, thank you. Dr. Wilborn wants the killer to be brought to him, but Kaya wants the killer to be brought to her.
Well, Sounds like personal problems yet again.
I'll
Yes.
say for this that while there are advantages to both, I have a deal with Mr. Wilborn, Dr. Wilborn, that would be very important to me. I don't know what he has in store for the killer, but I know what Kaya has in store. And though I find the killer to be loathsome for what he does, he or she does, I see no... I see multiple reasons why we should give it the killer to Wilborn instead. What do you think?
I believe that that solution is fine. I have no preference either way, short of a chainsaw and giving half to one party and half to the other.
My opinion, it's just important to get him off the streets. That way the FBI won't come looking more.
Julian, you have the
I think-
sight of death from Agnes. And even though Dahlia deals with ghosts, you too can see them.
Is there a ghost nearby, or...?
No, I just wanted to remind you that you actually have a victim, or like a location of one of the murders
Oh, okay, okay.
in North Terrace, the industrial area.
And you would relate that to that. He's like, why don't we go tonight? We go there. We finish this. We bring justice to Dusktown.
It's about time.
I guess a little
I-
smile at that. Hell yeah.
We have a ride? Preference for getting up there? Hopefully, we have a ride and don't have to walk.
I mean, Carson can drive us.
He's suddenly there. Yes, friend.
We need to get to the... And I just look at Julian. Where was it again?
He'll give him location.
Yeah, I'll put it in. He kind of taps it away at his phone. You need to bring anything? Weapons? Food?
I mean, weapons, surely. Food, not so important, I don't think.
Walks to the construction site and picks up a sledgehammer. And over his shoulder.
That should work.
I'm happy just to be the driver. Kind of spooky shit you get up to sometimes. It takes a toll.
Well, as far as we're aware, this is the kind who has just run around rampant.
Well, I'll always help you with anything, my friend. I know you won't ask more of me than I can deal with.
Thank you, as always.
And you should also know Miss Gray is trying to make me a ghoul. I don't know if she's aware that it can't be done, but she's been feeding me her blood.
Well, let her try. She'll get her dues eventually.
Just wanted to let you know. I'll pull the car around.
Thank you.
You guys want to bring anything?
I've got a gun and I've got some fancy ammo.
Yeah, fair enough. It's the,
I don't.
if there's
If I
anything.
can't do something with that, I don't know.
I have all I need. And he just holds up his folded up stick navigation tool.
I'll bring my fishing knife, why not?
It's just a human after all. We drive. Again, nothing is far away in the city, but it takes a while. Again, there's a blizzard going on, which is bad and good, because since it started, nothing has been watching you. No birds, no drones, no anything. Julian, you have not detected a single thing. But also further impairs your vision. Even with your ears, Julian, because there's always the howling wind and rustling of trees and street signs and things like this. But half an hour, 40 minutes maybe. You get to it's a road, but it seems like there are just half walls, like a couple of buildings that are half standing, been demolished, nothing has been built, not a construction site, but maybe something could be built. And then a lot of industrial area around it. So maybe old warehouses that were just torn down. You want to roll sentient scene? You can. Whoever wants to do that.
Sure.
Like awareness or?
Resolve and auspics.
Ooh, yeah.
One.
Oh wait, +1.
Yeah, it's a power.
I'm just doing this as a secondary X for the last dice in case. Yay, 4.
And let me just check something. Ella, can you give me a wits and investigation +2 for your ritual? Why did you roll finance? Oh, it's just the extra. Okay.
Yeah, the extra dice.
I know you're here. I have $100 bill with your name on it.
Wait. Walk around, it's covered in snow. Kick around bricks. I think none of you are particularly stealthy. But doesn't seem like there's anyone around besides you. Flashlight. There's a hint of something in your nose, Julian, and you kind of turn your head towards it, and as you do, Ella, you follow the way he's looking, and when you roll, you see a piece of cloth with a bit of blood on it, kind of beneath some rubble. But Julian, you pick up the rubble. Ella, you spot the bloody. It looks like a sleeve, maybe.
Yeah, curious. She's going to, as she sees Dowser, Julian, like kicking around, hold on, stop. What is that there? And then she will get down and she has a flashlight, getting closer to it to see it. Does this look like part of clothing? Maybe a sleeve. Bloodied?
There's blood
She'll-
on it. I can smell it.
She'll use a stick or something to like kind of pick it up so she doesn't damage it. Could she tell like the age of the clothing? Does it look like adult or children's?
Adult.
Okay. Yeah. She's concerned. Definitely adults.
It's a
Female?
blouse, I think.
Blouse. Yeah, she's going to kind of gender it, see that it's like maybe the cuff on it's something, and she notices that it's female's clothing. Does this possibly have something to do with that vision? She looks over to Julian. Didn't she say there was something? You had an idea of something previously, although that was like a laundromat or something. There's a freezer. Is this ringing any bells?
The witch at the graveyard gave me the vision. That wasn't it that someone died here? That someone was killed here? That someone was killed here. And it seems we found the beginnings of what's left.
As you're talking, Julian does. About 20 yards away from where you're standing in the distance, you see a woman, semi-transparent woman. About 25, you think, wearing an apron, mom jeans, sneakers. Just standing there, looking at you, having your conversation, and Ella holding the cloth. Definitely a wraith.
I think she's still here.
Ella's gonna look
Yes, but not
where.
alive.
And he's gonna
Oh.
start walking forward.
If Ella were to look forward to the direction he's walking, would she see him or the wraith as well?
No, you don't have sentient seeing. You know, sometimes they can make themselves appear, but right now is one of those moments. As you approach her, yeah, a good roll for this. Julian, you are pretty humane. Can you give me a charisma and what would something be to just look? Charisma persuasion or something like that.
Do I add? Would I be able to add stunning to the?
Yes.
You look beautiful while your curiosity is piqued.
Charisma. Please don't hurt me with. Okay. I don't think there's much I can improve on that.
No, only 2 dice. 3 is enough.
Okay.
She looks a bit more hesitant at your companions, but since you are taking the lead, she does not disappear. You can see she is fearful, though, and she's aware of what you are.
He's gonna take off his sunglasses, and he's just kind of looking at her with his his milky white eyes. Hello. My name is Julian. I'm sorry for what happened to you.
She looks confused for a moment and then interested. I'm Tess. This is where I died. Why are you looking for me?
We're trying to track down the one who did this to you. You were murdered, weren't you?
Yes. It was. I don't remember much. I was drugged, I think. But this is not where my body is.
Do you know where your body is?
Yes.
Can you take me and my friends? Or just tell me where it is? I don't want you to go through any more than you already have.
I don't want to go there. A horrible place, but I can tell you where it is.
That is fine.
She points in. I have the map in my head. Northwestern direction. Ella, you see her. She appears for a moment. You see the woman just pointing in a direction. And she says, there is an abandoned warehouse. You can't miss it. It even looks haunted.
All right. Thank you. We will bring your killer to justice. And that you have my word.
Can you tell my husband I'm sorry?
Who is your husband?
Name. Let me figure it out.
Hey.
Yeah. Joe.
You know what does he smell like? Can you recall that?
Oh, like. She looks at you, Dawson. She gives you an address to a house. This is where I live. Where he lives. With our daughter. I can't. I was there, but it didn't bring them peace. It just seem to... My presence seems to upset them. And I don't know why, but I can't move on. There's so many of us.
Again, I'm sorry. When we apprehend the killer, I pray that that will let you and the others move on. We will do what we can, and I will speak to your husband.
Thank you. Tell him to throw out the teddy bear.
I shall.
She fades from you. Even, well, Ella first, and then Dowser and Julian, you see her just kind of become mist. And become a part of the blizzard.
That was interesting. Ella's a little unaware of everything going on. Julian, Dowser. Did you see that? Did you hear that?
Yes. And she also told us where to find her body. Amongst others, it would seem.
And what about the killer?
She
He
didn't
didn't remember much.
We should go there immediately.
Yes. We need to end this.
Let's go.
You walk maybe 15 minutes through rubble that are just these demolished warehouses. Then you reach the edge of it where there's one still standing. It is derelict. There are no lights inside. The only door you see is it's a very tall door, sliding door. It's locked with a chain. Are windows, but they're very high up, and I don't think any of you can jump that far. You would need a ladder to get in through that. And a few dumpsters along one of the walls. But that's about it. It's still very dark, and even your flashlights are obscured by the snow. And you start to feel that locking of the joints from the cold. Your dead body's just being cooled down for a while. And it is below freezing. But yeah, there's a door with just a lock in a chain.
Should we try to pick the lock or should we just break through? What do you think?
It looks like it'd be too difficult. I've never done it myself, though. Have either of you picked a lock?
No, but I can help you. I know they make little click sounds. So whoever does it, I can let them know or help them.
Well, I have no experience with it, so I wouldn't be much help.
Can I just try to break the doorknob off? Or is it...
It's a chain.
No.
You could try to pull the chain, but it would probably require a lot. It's harder.
I was just thinking... It's what?
It's harder than breaking a wrist. But since you're in that mood, give me another wits and investigation. Also, you can do as well, Julian, wits and awareness. Plus all your things. You all have +2 to wits, just flat out from the ritual. But Julian, you have a bit more from your space.
You want a wits and awareness from everyone or just Dowser and Julian?
Wits and investigation from you and Dowser. and wits awareness from Julian.
Hey, Julian.
Kind of walking around Ella and Dowser while Julian is listening to the lock, maybe pulling the chain a bit. Dowser, you spotted maybe because Ella is just kind of pulling something, and then you see just the slightest crack. But then pull the dumpster completely, and there's a hole in the wall behind one of them. You would have to crouch, obviously, one by one. Julian, you fiddle with the chain, and obviously you can slide the door a little bit. You're very gentle about it, but you sense like something that's been strung up, like a wire. And then something that pulls and is about to let go, but then you just kind of slide the door back. Your first thought is, this door is trapped. There's some kind of contraption on the other side that will just... Or maybe it's the lock. But it seems deliberately set up from the mechanical sounds it makes as you fiddle with the door.
He's gonna take a step back, and if Carson's with him, he's like, the door is trapped.
Have you brought Carson with you? Does, or is he in the car?
I think we brought him with you.
My bad, I didn't remember.
I just want to ask to clarify.
Yeah.
Trapped. Well, he looks around the building and sees Ella and Dowser. Maybe they have found a way in.
Dowser will turn around and just say, yeah, it would seem so. Who wants to go first? And then when silence falls, he'll just crawl in.
I want to ask who wants to go first.
Julian will walk forward and be like, the door with the chain is trapped. There are likely more traps inside.
Well, one at a time, no?
Walk in, Dowser. Shine your light. I don't even want to make a roll or anything because it's very easy, but for a moment you have a vision. Just bright light and flames as you step in. Shine your light around. Ella, Julian, and Carson follows. Shine your light at the door. There is something there. And it's attached to something very flammable. Something that could make a spark. But
Careful, this place could blow up or burn.
As you walk around things, right? But I want you to kind of choose amongst yourself between 3 different roles here. Who does what? There's an awareness role, an investigation role, and then medicine role. So figure out who does what here.
I'll do awareness.
I can do investigation.
I'll do medicine.
Do you have any dots in medicine?
1.
Okay, I have 0.
And obviously you can rouse for the rolls if you need to. And it is all wits rolls. So wits medicine, wits awareness, or wits investigation. So you have your +2 from your ritual.
Yeah.
And Julian, obviously you have 1 billion dice. Probably don't need to roll, but it's always fun when you do.
I'm afraid.
I'll rouse, why not?
But we get a +2 with our wits
Yeah.
rolls.
Oh no!
That wasn't part of the plan, Julian.
Why are you so hungry?
That's
Rousing is
also.
He's on the other
Listen.
side of this fucking wall and just pushes.
rousing is +2 dice, yes?
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay. Oh, okay. While this is happening, can I proactively put up toughness? It's a rouse check.
I'm gonna say no for now. I know what you're going for, but wait until you see what kind of damage it is, because Defy Bane could be better.
Okay.
But yes, I know you are
I'm a little concerned.
in defense mode.
I would like both in that case, but
If it's fire, then one, and something else, then
okay.
but you don't have to do the witch survival roll to trigger it, because now you are kind of having it in your mind that something could be amiss. Let's see here. Daz, you wanna reroll?
Yeah,
Three of
I
them?
think we gotta. Yeah, why not?
That's 5. That's much. I will describe things, because you all did quite well, and Julian, I'll get back to you.
Oh no.
It's both a threat and a promise, Julia.
Jesus Christ.
There are crates obviously in here, and old tools. The first thing you notice are these I don't know how many liters, or gallons, but very large blue barrels. Well, no, up. Kind of scattered around the room. But 5 of them are kind of standing in a cluster. And there are various objects around them. Ella, you did the investigation. You find... How many successes?
1 million? No,
7 with a crit.
7.
Okay, I'll You find, at first you think it's cotton. But then you realize it's
Cotton?
Cotton, yeah. But then you realize it's polyester fiber. And it's what they use to stuff, stuffed animals with. Like a teddy bear. Bowser, you find syringes. And scattered, some of them stepped on. I don't know why you recognize the smell. But it's propofol, which is an aesthetic, apparently very, very, very powerful one that will knock you on your ass immediately. Something they use for surgeries. Or, psychiatric wards where people need to sleep very fast. Julian, you smell that again from the vision, almost. A vision we had from the girl. The particular chemical used to preserve bodies. Even through the sealed blue barrels, you smell this. And you're reminded of the young, very young girl. And kind of get flashes. You're haunted by apparently these 5 victims. You feel very bad for them. And you take a point of superficial willpower damage. Ooh. And a quiet, and to the rest of you, it seems like he's almost praying. Feels very somber, very sad all of a sudden. Because he realizes what are inside these barrels.
He would just be looking towards them. I just kind of stand there almost like a statue and thinking to himself, if we don't take care of this, it's gonna go on for at least another 10 years. That's what he thinks to himself as he's looking at all these barrels.
Ella is looking around, wanting to do something sooner rather than later. Well, this looks quite bizarre and interesting, but what do you all want to do with this? I don't see a body anywhere. Do we need to go? Is there a basement or something, do you think? And she'll she's not stepping, but she'll lean in closer into the room to see like if there's any basement or attic or anything that she can kind of see.
Julian will just put his hand on her shoulder and then point at the barrels. They're in there.
Is all of them one per, all in one? What sadistic graveyard is this?
They're filled with fluid to prevent decomposition. And he's really quiet, really subdued.
So as she's like looking around, well, seems like we might need more help. Or do you think that we can roll these out on our own? I mean, we're gonna need a bigger truck. As she's like pointing back to the car that we came in, we don't have room to take them in the vehicle that we brought.
We can handle that later. We have to first deal with the one who put them in there. We could always inform the police later.
Carson says, should I open them?
No.
Please don't.
If they're in liquid that's used to preserve bodies, more likely than not, the liquid is quite.
Like in a
chemicals
truck,
and
but
whatnot.
police is a better option.
Do we have a way of contacting them at all?
Always call them.
I forget phones do exist.
But I think Julian's right. We should probably wait till we are out of here, and Carson suddenly becomes very aware that he leaves DNA behind. And he like makes himself smaller and puts his hands in his pockets. I think I'm gonna step outside before I leave a hair on the ground.
Probably smart.
But Ella, the biggest clue is probably the fibers. And the toy store that you guys mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. I see. She able to take some of the fibers at all?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's-
she would do that. She would collect some.
Most people would not see it. You had quite a good roll. And apparently you know your teddy bears for some reason.
Dealing with children all day,
Yeah.
you know. So she'll just take a little bit of that and pocket it in a pocket, I guess. I don't know what she has. She's not exactly a CSI crime scene investigator, so.
You have a few dots in investigation.
Mhm.
You know your way around a bit of criminology.
Okay. So anything else that you all want to look at? She's like crossing her arms, looking around like, well, this is tragic, but also.
What are these things? I can smell them, but it's like fur? Something like fur?
What things? What do you mean, Julian?
Like the fibers.
Seems that they have some, I don't know, build bear building or toy making capacity here. I don't know to what degree, maybe stuffed bears or whatever. Above board, she didn't really get the information on the toy store specifically, and she didn't know about getting rid of the bear. So
It's the toy store. You see him kind of like set up, and he's like, Tess said to throw away the bear. Throw away the teddy bear.
she's looking around. Well, I don't see anyone by the name of Tess here. She may be in a barrel, unfortunately. And
Definitely.
from what I gather is that there's no bears here, only the items to build them. So, are you saying there's a bear here that we need to get as well?
No. I think Tess was the spirit. Her body's in one of these barrels. And she said, looking at my notes real quick, throw out the teddy bear. That's the message she wanted to give to her husband. And
Do we need to go there next?
I believe that's the place.
Okay.
Then let's go there, no?
Or
Okay.
the other option is we just wait. We can't wait. No. I think
That's
we
right,
should
we
go to the
can't.
toy store.
Yes. Well, we shall. She looks at her arm, whether she has a wristband on or not, and time is money, so let's go.
Get outside. And head back to the car. And drive to Alejandro's domain. On your way there, Carson just asks again, should I call the police or do we wait? Julian, you know, as soon as the police is involved, Kaya's involved.
Let's just wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
Just a bit longer.
You're driving. Just the route in my head. I have to do a roll.
If I'm leading us in the wrong direction, I'm sorry, guys. Just put that out there.
No worries.
Fine. The only direction I have is the strip club, and I don't want to go there anymore. So,
Ugh. You drive in the blizzard. He's not driving fast, fortunately, because he's not a fool. But that roll was not perfect. He brakes all of a sudden because there's a woman in the middle of the street, and he just drives through her and kind of up on the sidewalk and barely misses a light pole. It's just, what the fuck? I am so sick of people stepping out in front of the car.
Did we hit someone?
You didn't hear any bumps or anything. Julian, you didn't see anyone. You just hear Ella and Dowser. You saw the woman and you recognized her. Well, no face, grey robe. Your benefactor. Ella, you have seen her before, or at least those visions.
Did we drive through her?
Yeah, almost
Okay.
like she was a ghost, but, well, Carson obviously thought she was a real person.
Well, that lady is kind of important. I don't know why she is appearing now.
we just drive through her. That's what I saw.
Didn't hit anything. He kind of steps out of the car and checks the front of it. It's nothing. There's no blood. There's no one on the street. Gets back in. Fucking cold.
I mean, we could just keep going. If we see her again, maybe turn around.
You guys are into some weird things. And he starts the car again and drives even slower. You arrive in front of the party house. It's quiet. No Alejandro, no teenagers on the street. The laundromat is open, obviously, and the motel. I think it was a burger joint or something. I said it's closed. The toy store is closed because it is, I want to say 9-10 o'clock. Only lit by street lights. There's a few cars in the parking lot of the, what are those malls called? Like tiny, I know there's a word for it.
A Fiat, a for two, smart car.
Just the type of mall in general that not a mall, but like has like stores connected and like a whole
Strip mall?
Yes, strip mall. Thank you.
I thought you said car, and so
no, like the I knew those words. Strip mall. That's the one. But yeah, the only lights you see are from the motel part and the laundromat, and the toy store is at the right part of the horseshoe shape. There's obviously a front door and a back door for deliveries and, you know, when you're closing up. A staff door. So Carson says, should I wait here or you need me for?
I think you should be fine here for this. I think Ella should lead. Even though she doesn't know quite what to say.
I don't think any of us do. But that never stopped anyone from going in head first.
Her words.
Does Carson hands you a lockpick set?
Oh, thank you. That is useful.
They don't look open. He smiles.
Well, I guess it's time to open them.
Front door, back door.
Any preferences?
Front door's more visible.
We might as well try the back.
Well, why not?
I have a vote for the back door as well.
Maybe tries to make a run for it. Carson will be out front.
Mm-hmm. Correct. There'll be more witnesses out front if he does.
That is true. Yep. So we'll sneak around the back then.
Who wants to do a larceny check?
I'm not a criminal. Not this time.
Does anyone have a dot in larceny?
I think I do, actually. As a matter of fact. What? I mean, I think that's like a standard issue for Ventru.
I do not.
Yeah, I'll do a larceny check.
All right.
Oh, you.
Larceny with
Composure?
Sure.
So I have 4 dots.
Yeah, and you can have an extra for Julian going. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right
it
there.
goes like this with his finger, like it's like he's taking time. It's like you hit the tumbler right, that that kind of thing. Like
Be shield failure. Let's go. No, well, it's something. It's not a beast shield failure, but it's
good. It's a normal lock. It's not something like a vault or something high security. With a 4 as well. You don't trip the alarm. Step into the back room. Immediately look up. See a camera. It's not pointed at you, but if you step further in, it will probably see you. But the angle right now, it won't.
Is it pivoted towards, like, is it all like on a swivel or anything?
Oh no, as you step in, it's in the corner. It will kind of see at an angle into the storage area. But it has no view of the door itself before you take a few steps inside the room.
Where is a Lasombra when you need them? I will... Do I have regular ammo as well as fancy ammo?
Yes, I assume you have all the gun things you need. You're even capable of making your own bullets. Because I've seen your specialties.
Look, if it's a gun, I got it.
Let's go.
Yeah, little gun violence in the toy store. Yeah, she's gonna unload a round into it. Just.
Yeah. Well, I think to the rest of you just kind of see Ella pull out a gun, a silencer, and then do a tap. Obviously, there's a bit of a sound, but it's muffled. And then you hear Julian the frying of electricity as the camera is taken out. And then you become acutely aware of the other cameras that are in here. It is dark though. You're in the storage room. Right in front of you is a large red door. You zoom to the store part of it. And then to your left is a door that is probably the office. And in here it's just boxes and boxes and boxes. But before we continue on, I just looked at the time and it's time for a break.